Hey gang, today is a very special day. Today is EverQuest's 20th anniversary, and I want you to let that sink in for a minute. EverQuest is 20 years old. That is a huge accomplishment. And to be honest, there's a lot of different directions I wanted to go with this video. But the word impact, that's what came to mind. The impact that this game had on the gaming industry, the impact that it had on people's lives, the impact of it making the pathway to the games that we play today. And that's what I'm going to focus on today, on a game called EverQuest. Talking about impact, Mr. Paul Hertenstein, bravo with your music, with your keyboard. His channel and everybody that's featured in this video, their links will be in the description below. We're gonna get started. This is not gonna be a major shout out video. We're just gonna get real and how this game's affected us in our personal lives.
You know, EverQuest was a complete game changer for me when it came to the gaming world. You know, I was always a console person, so most of my time was spent on fighting games and playing PlayStation 2 and, NES and Mortal Kombat and racing games. Played a lot of Gran Turismo when I was younger.
Good old EverQuest. If it wasn't for it, we wouldn't be who we are today. Completely changed the way I view the world, completely changed the way that I view video games. EverQuest also taught me that the normal RPGs that I used to play are kind of short and kind of not as cool as I thought they were before I played EverQuest.
Major sleep deprivation would be the norm.
Teaching me how to socialize online. Teaching me that you can have online friends that are just as important to you as people you know in real life. That you can actually form memories and bonds and adventures online. Freaking awesome.
And it really was awesome. I know some of the people I know today and still keep in touch through EverQuest. It really encouraged me to go out. I mean, I didn't need to go out and party on the weekends as a teenager. I was in Norrath making friends, making new adventures, and striving to do better. And that's one good thing about EverQuest. I will tell you this. The impact it had on me was it made me want to do better.
I kept playing because I wanted to be the best in my guild, on the server, and in the world.
It's all I did. It consumed me. It was something that every day I looked forward to being done with what was going on so I could get home and play.
EverQuest has so many positive influences on my life.
For me, one of the best features of EverQuest was its grouping. Everybody had a role to play, and your role wasn't very difficult to figure out. The grouping was also flexible in terms of being able to do a hardcore group and just chain pull constantly, or just take it slow and steady and chat with your groupmates.
Being the great sense of self-confidence that I gained from being one of the top guilds, I also learned a better and more adaptive way of critical thinking. Leading raids and groups really helped me become more outspoken and able to verbalize my thoughts more, which in turn makes me a better communicator now. And I'm sure my wife appreciates that.
So back in the day, obviously the internet wasn't what it is today. There was no YouTube guides. There was a handful of websites, and you had to literally depend on a friend to show you the ropes on how to play your class if you didn't know how, or if you couldn't figure it out. This was all new to a lot of people. I'm talking like feign death pulling.
Feign death. My very first toon was a barbarian warrior, and when I was in EC Tunnel, I would see these other characters running by, and all of a sudden a sound would trigger, and it was the death sound, and I freaked out. And then, bam, they would stand right back up, not dead. I had to learn what that was and how it was done, and I swapped my main to a monk, and the rest is history.
I'm talking, how to manage your spells, how to manage your mana, how to have the right group, how to have the right settings, where to camp, where to sit, timing spawns, all this stuff. This was all revolutionary. This was all new. I mean, there was literally weekends where I did not sleep. Like, I'm not exaggerating. Full weekends, no sleep. I'm talking spawning rare mobs. I'm talking just group play. There's just so much I wanted to get done and couldn't get it all done.
Camping a spot for almost 72 hours with a friend once.
Hours and hours in this game was not enough. Many people can attest to that.
Some of the best memories I have are actually of me and my best friends in high school playing this game. Followed up by the fact that even after we've played all day, we're actually still looking to go to Denny's afterwards at 1 a.m, meeting up, driving there and eating because we forgot to eat all day. And then, sitting and talking about what we were going to do next in the game.
It can also have some negative effects, guys. You can definitely lose track of your family, of your career. Your real life can definitely fall apart due to a great game, very immersive, in a place that you retreat to. I don't personally have any negative effects from EverQuest, besides maybe ignoring people, not going out as often, which probably saved me a lot of money, to be honest.
There was nothing like that up to that point. Everything else was a couple hours of enjoyment, and this became days of enjoyment. This became years of enjoyment. And without EverQuest, I don't know that it would have... If I would have ever experienced the RPG genre in the same way, and I'm curious if I'd actually even still be a gamer.
Gaming back in the day was nothing like it is today. You say gaming today, everybody knows what you mean. Back then, people didn't understand. This was not just a play Donkey Kong for 3 hours and then call it a night. This was EverQuest. This was something brand new where you could escape from whatever reality you were in and dive into a virtual world and have an adventure with some friends. And a lot of people didn't understand that. They didn't understand, oh, you're just throwing the game for hours and hours and hours. It just didn't compute with people. Now it's a common thing. They understand a lot of these mainstream MMOs, these AAA titles, and it's become a thing. It's become esport. It's become a Twitch, a streaming thing, a YouTube thing. This has become so much more, and I am willing to put money on this. You can thank EverQuest for that, but I cannot express how many stories I've heard over the years of people getting divorced, or people getting married, or people making best friends and moving to the same state, or what have you. I mean, this game has really brought people together, and that is something that won't happen when you're playing Halo or Call of Duty or whatever FPS is popular at the moment, and you're just talking crap on the internet and you're like, kill you. You just don't get that bond anymore. Even with modern day MMOs, it's hard to come by. No one cares. No one has the common courtesy to ask how you're doing. And one of the things I want to share with you guys is I was bullied. I was always a little guy and always made fun of in school and whatnot. But I got to play EverQuest. When I got home, that was my escape. That was my way to get away from reality and just enjoy things that I would enjoy more than I would in real life. You know what I mean? As you'll see, other people can testify to this kind of situation that was presented to us in '99. It's crazy.
My dad always said that I was wasting my life away and that I should get a job, plus there was the constant criticism from other people that knew me.
EverQuest came to me during a very chaotic time in my life when I was trying to come to terms with childhood abuse. And as a result, I was also dealing with alcohol and substance abuse. I have no illusions about what would have happened to me if I hadn't played EverQuest. I would be in prison or worse. At the time, EverQuest was a source of everything positive in my life. My closest friends that I have today are from EverQuest, and that also includes my wife. The only downside was that I traded one addiction for another, and I spent more time logged into EverQuest than I probably should have, but I'm sure there's more than a few of us that can kind of say the same thing.
But the negative would be, it was obsessive. There was a lot of emotion. There were fights with friends. There were times we didn't talk to each other because of the game. And there were times that, sometimes we put the game ahead of each other, which was kind of crazy if you think about it, because there's never been a game like that before.
It's also very true. I remember fighting with my stepbrother and waking my dad up, who also played EverQuest. And we were fighting over a drop. I mean, I'm talking throwing chairs. We were young. And going back to sharing an account with my friends, we were just fighting for playtime. This game was just so immersive. Like, you never wanted to leave Norrath. And that is such a heavy impact that no other game has ever had on my life, and on the many lives of the people that I know. When I meet someone out in another game that has played EverQuest, it's like, did we just become best friends? Yep. You know what I mean? It's that kind of connection. It's like, you played EverQuest hardcore, we're best friends now. No questions asked, We kind of covered all bases on the impact that EverQuest has had. It was new, it was fresh, it had negative effects, it had positive effects. So with that being said, I have a special guest today, who's going to kind of hammer home some points on EverQuest. I give you Brad MC Quaid.
Oh, I'm very busy making Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. This is Brad MC Quaid. So, positive and negative effects on me personally about EverQuest. Well, let me see here. Positives, I have a career. Well, also, positives are that it kind of gave me some experience, in making MMOs, and that's what I do. So, if it wasn't for EverQuest, there wouldn't be a Pantheon, so there's that. Negatives, well, it took about 3 years of my life creating it, to be honest. See all this gray hair? Yeah, you see that? You see all that gray hair? See all the lost hair? Yeah, that's EverQuest, so definitely some negativity that happened there, too. Favorite feature of EverQuest has to be the credits with my name in it. Oh, that cracked me up. I quit playing EverQuest when I went on to go start making Vanguard. We're not going to talk about that. But that was when I quit. I still go back and play it, though. I've never given up on good old EverQuest. I don't think anybody really could. I mean, it's freaking EverQuest. You know what I mean? It'll never die. All right, I got a lot to do, guys. That's all I can really spare. Thanks for joining me.
Calm down, Brad MC Quaid. I did not know about the Pantheon plugs. I'm very sorry. This was dedicated to EQ. But seriously, guys, thanks to the real Brad McQuaid. Thanks to everybody who's ever worked on EverQuest, who made what we are today. I mean, they basically shaped us as people. I cannot thank all the devs, everybody that's ever been a part, from Sony to Daybreak. I mean, it doesn't matter. You are impacting people's lives, whether you realize it or not. And want to say thank you and happy birthday, EverQuest.
I will always look fondly on my EverQuest days, because without them, who knows what would have happened to me. My life would be completely different and probably not for the better.
There's no vivid memories that are as emotional and take me back to a different time like mine in EverQuest. So yeah, it's been a blast thinking back to it.
Punkshu here, and I just wanted to give a huge shout out to EverQuest and say happy birthday, happy 20 years. Thanks so much to the developers that have put in all the effort into the game and helped contribute to the MMORPG genre to make it what it is today. Again, thanks so much and happy birthday.
And EverQuest, thank you very much for what you've done for online gaming, for our community, and for the socialization of MMORPGs. EverQuest, happy birthday. Next year, you'll be old enough to drink. We'll see what that means.
Happy birthday, EverQuest, and thank you.